in the chat. Bam is late. It's just me. Myself and I, by myself, bro. I ain't even have time to like brush my hair and shit. But what up? What's going on, everybody? Late. But I'm here. What's going on? What's going on? Let's chat. Let's talk. Almost there. Only 2 minutes. Okay, he's 2 minutes late. Let's start the countdown right now. Regardless, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Weekly Toast. It's just gonna be me and Bam today. Something that I need to clear up immediately, guys. So those of you who are familiar with the Weekly Toast, you know exactly what it is. It's a podcast that just talks about multiverses. That's it. Independent podcast with me and the homies. This is not affiliated, you know, with PFG directly or with WB. So this is kind of like our own thing, right? So with that being said, guys, you should never ever expect announcements of any kind to be on this podcast at all. We are literally here to just discuss the game, discuss what's going on in the meta, and pretty much just hear you guys out. That's it. I saw on Twitter, people were getting hyped for like a character announcement or content announcements, and I'm like, dog, I have never done that on the Weekly Toast ever. So I'm just clearing that up immediately so you guys don't think that there's going to be some presentation at the beginning or the end. If that's what you're watching for and you're disappointed, I'm sorry. Like, genuinely, but that's not what we do. But what if you did? I will not. Yeah. Half the chat leaves. It's okay. But anyway, guys, talk to me. What's been on your mind? Especially in regards to multiverses. To let you know, when it comes to answering questions or talking about the game, there are certain things that I cannot do anymore. You remember back in the day, right? Back in the day when I could make videos about what characters I wanted or anything of that sort. You feel me? I can't do that anymore. Obviously within reason. You know what I mean? I'm not allowed to do that. So yeah. But you guys can do that. So you have fun doing that. The Asian servers for Multiversus, the game's just not in Asia yet. I don't know when, if, anything regarding that. That's not really my department or anything at the moment. I think that's because you literally said you don't want to miss this episode, implying something. I mean, me saying you don't want to miss this episode is me saying you don't want to miss this episode because you don't want to miss this episode. We're talking about the game. It's about building. Like, what? You want to build up your program. That doesn't imply that something's being shown. If I ever had something that I was going to show, like the scene, I would be like, you guys, expect this. I would just be blunt about it. But, you know, when it comes to announcements and stuff like that, again, that's also not even my like thing. I don't get to make the call on any of that. So yeah, I see how Sakurai feels. You want a timeout key? Mods? You know what to do. If we in here, mods, get to work. Let's get them. Time them out. I'll return the favor. Watch. Make sure you got the channel points for it, dog. Is it true? Whoa. 11 folks? Mogul. What do you think about that? You have fun with the game and play it almost every day. My only issue is lack of transparency. So let's talk a little bit about that, right? While my cat tries to troll me. So obviously transparency is really important, of course, obviously. When it comes to certain things, you can't always just immediately say, like, give the answer, say the answer, especially if there's moving parts going around and you don't really know what is like what we've settled on or anything like that. So straight up, it's just like, yeah. And I think people kind of mistaken my position for being able to just immediately say what's happening, what's coming, when it's coming, and everything. And that's just not how it works whatsoever. I remember I made that post on Twitter where I was basically saying, like, I feel you guys, right? Especially with the situation in terms of the you know, the season 3 stuff, season 2. But that was just like my genuine, like, I feel you guys. I can understand why you would feel upset or disappointed or something like that. And, you know, going forward, we're going to try to make sure that stuff like that doesn't happen. You feel me? And as much as of like a robotic statement that sounds like, that was genuinely how I felt. Like, genuinely how I felt. Because I'm only going to speak for myself. PFG doesn't hate Black Adam. Love all the characters. I'm a big Velma fan. Let me not play around because people are actually tight. People think that I got Velma nerfed. I don't be nerfing anybody, bro. I just be sitting, people think that I be getting characters nerfed, bro. I'm just like, dog, what? I haven't been in any discussions for a nerf, dog. Ay. But generally speaking for myself, I'm not worried at all. Upcoming content for the game? No. So I know what's coming. I can't speak about it. That's the thing, right? So it's like anybody that's working on a game, right? You even take it and look at like other games, for example. The people that are working on the game, they know everything that's going on, but like you can't speak on everything immediately, right? And I'm a guy that likes surprises. So honestly, when I'm playing games and there's content coming, like let's look at Guilty Gear. I don't want to know as soon as they have the characters they know they're putting in Guilty Gear. I don't want to know like immediately. The element of surprise is exciting, right? That's why on Twitter I'd be telling you guys like I love, like, I can't wait for you guys to see what's coming. It sounds like such a general statement, but it is dead ass the truth. And it's so weird because being on the other side, it's no longer a thing of I'm personally excited for what's coming, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It's more so now, damn, I can't wait for all these people to be able to see what's coming. And that's that. But as the community manager, people think that they can just ask me who's the next character, when's the next character coming out, and I'm supposed to just give them the answer. And I can't do that, you know? I can't. Yo, is my man? Yo, he said 2 minutes. Let's get a BAM update. He's here? All right. This guy, bruh. How close would you say? I can't tell you. Really appreciate the transparency on this. Like I said on Twitter also, I'm always going to try to do what I can. But what I can isn't always going to satisfy you. And I'm very well aware of that. I'm very well aware of there are people that are going to be like upset. I'm aware. It comes with the territory, right? So if you do have frustrations, I don't mind you directing them onto me, even if it's out of my control or out of my ability. But like it is what it is in that response. You feel me? Your Reddit AMA, I posted again. You didn't see my post, Porcupine? I commented on the thread that I made initially. And I said exactly what was going on and why I hadn't done it yet. So I ain't ghost anybody. I posted. Go check. Nakat, you're lying. Go look. You love the game? I love the game too. I love fighting I love fighting Superman, man. Oh man, I love fighting Superman. No. Okay, let me be realistic. No. Let me be real. So, in terms of balance, I'll talk to you guys about balance a little bit, right? When it comes to some of the characters that are currently popular, I'm gonna call them popular. I haven't really been putting my hat in the ring in terms of like who needs nerfs, who needs buffs, but I do report the sentiment of what people are feeling at large, right? So if there's like a large chunk of the community feeling a certain thing about Finn, for example, I'll throw my hat in the ring and be like, Finn, all right, cool. Then what I do personally is I watch streams, I watch people play, and I actually go to people directly for exactly how they're feeling about a certain character. right? So when people were watching my tracker, GG I think it's called, and they were seeing that I was playing bots, I normally fight bots to farm dailies and stuff, but it also allows me to talk to my chat directly while I'm doing it, right? But when it comes to actually figuring out things about characters and the such, I'm very watchful and very like active in talking to people to understand certain things, right? And so usually when I do go in and play, I try to do things in a way that reaffirms or seeks out exactly what someone is stressing about a character. So Finn is a hot topic, right? A lot of people think Finn is really good. Finn is really good. He's a really good character.
Oh, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. Just because I'm not outwardly saying we have to do something about Finn doesn't mean that I'm not aware of it, right? I'm very aware of like what characters are. Yeah, let me turn that down. Yo, you were mad loud, bro. Everybody was like, yo. Guys, how's it now?
Open their eardrums, man. What up, man?
Dang, ma.
What up, man?
What up, ma? What's poppin', bro?
I'm ordering MCDS.
What's poppin'? I got you over here instead of in front of me. You right here, bro. You up and center, bro. Let me actually throw you up here. Let me see here. But yeah, chat, when it comes to buffs and nerfs, I'm very aware of what you guys are saying. Yep, there we go. Yo, this shit is huge, bro. See, if you were here earlier, I would have had this shit down packed. All right, guys, we're good. But anyway, Bam, how you been?
I'm good, man. I'm good. All right, dude. To do a scuff stream because I'm freaking at my parents' house. I came by to see them. Make sure.
Wait, your parents live here?
SoCal?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. That's why I'm from SoCal.
Well, I mean, I didn't. All right, man. Wait, hold the phone. I didn't know.
I thought you did. My bad.
Do you get to test upcoming characters before they get revealed? I mean, yeah. I feel like that's like, yeah.
Give it.
Yeah. I don't feel like, yeah, I do.
What topics have you guys been hitting so far, man?
I've basically been trying to explain like that there's limitations to certain things in my position, right? Because I think people think that when they ask me when a character is coming out or when something's coming out, I have to like immediately tell them, and that's just not how it works.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to explain kind of like how that works, or you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
obviously
no,
there are some people that thought I was going to announce a character or content during this, and it's just like, I've never done that for this podcast ever. This podcast is like independent of like both PFG and WB. This is just something that the homies and I decided to put together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those kind of, I mean, usually in those kind of things you said, like unless it's like done with them, right? Like you're gonna have an NDA, like that's just standard procedure for any company, right? So they're not gonna just allow people just to randomly just like release it because they just for no reason.
Yeah. And Super Daltron, I totally understand. People are starved for communication, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to talk to you about as much as I possibly can, right? And for you guys to talk to me. Obviously, there are going to still be things that are asked in the chat that I just straight up am not allowed to answer at this current time. And people just have to be respectful of that. But I'm also, whatever you guys say, I'm intaking it. All right? I'm taking it in.
Yeah.
So even if I don't comment back, just know I have it, and if I forget, I have it here in the chat. What up, Paradox? Let me see. What's the end goal for servers? To be as amazing as they possibly can be. Servers are always being worked on and improved, and when the day comes where you guys are playing through crispy, buttery connection, I'm gonna look back on all this and be like, we did it. But
I actually love that too, though. You guys are about that. I mean, that's something right big, like from the get-go. You guys have talked about, right? Overall, that you want to make sure that there is quality connection, so people like in quality internet, so people can play high-level games and be able to have accessibility wherever they are, right? So I think that goes a long way. And people are funny because for some reason they just think that that's not gonna. That changed or something, right? And it's just that stuff takes time, man. Like a lot of that stuff takes time, especially for fighting games, right? You may not notice in terms of these other games that you'll be playing, and you'll be like, "Oh, why can't I have a good connection like this?" Like,
of course,
no, that stuff is very different for fighting games because of like how precious a frame is in the fighting game, how precious these interactions are. It's so different in comparison to other games in terms of good internet. So
yeah,
I applaud you guys because you guys are jamming it and making sure that we will get that netcode where it needs to be. So that's
I think scrolling up, I just saw like two things that I wanted to touch on real quick. So the whole work in progress thing, I think that well, I'm a big fan of roadmaps. I know people are echoing they want roadmaps. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, guys, I 10 million % promise that we're gonna get a roadmap. Just know that, you know, I am definitely like, I get it. You feel me? And so, thank you. I got my drink right here. And so I understand the importance and significance of a roadmap. Will it happen? Again, I don't want to promise you guys anything and it doesn't happen, but you guys saying how much you want roadmaps, trust and believe, people know this. No, they do know this. They know this. Let me see. When it comes to Herman, if you actually like really kind of focus in on my account a little bit, sometimes I'd be leaving like little trails of like how I think, right? And so I've commented on wanting roadmaps. I've commented on what's the big, right, like character presentations, like when presenting content. There are certain ways I personally would really love to go about it. And it's shit that you guys have asked for. So to me, I'm just like, yo, this is how I would love for it to be. They want this too. I'm going to try to make it happen. And let me see.
That'll be the moment for sure when you get that stuff done. Because like I know some people were saying in the chat, right? Like the biggest thing is like a lot of them are they just want to have some kind of semblance of.
You sound really low, Bam. You sound kind of like.
Not low.
Okay, now you're good.
Am I good?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay, that's weird. Yeah, I mean that's always a big thing, right? People want to just at least have some kind of information and have some visibility on what's going on, and there's certain levels to it, right? Obviously, you can't show the whole farm and everything like that, but at least people know that have a general understanding of what's going to be happening next, and what could be like keep people hyped, keep people focused.
You sound muffled. You sound like you're underwater.
Muffled? Damn, this thing probably sucks.
Now
that's
you
probably
sound
why.
good. Whatever you just did, now you sound like you're back from
I'm
underwater.
not
bro.
doing
You're
anything. I'm in water. Someone help.
Do people not know that this game isn't being worked on? I don't know. I think people. Well, I don't know.
That's a big one, man. I feel like a lot of people don't realize that. I feel like a lot of people just assume it's WB and that's it, and they don't realize
I'm gonna lower now. Yeah, so
it's actually happening.
You're good, but now that you fixed your mic, you in everybody's ear, bro. All right, I fixed it. You can go again.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people don't recognize that this is something that actually is a lot more common than you think. Where it's like you have like a small dev team that is like you have that company built, right? And then they get picked up by a parent company, right? And then they're the ones who like handling stuff. And what happens is a lot of people just assume, oh, this big company is the one, like, okay, so they're handling, so they have all this money, is AAA budget, blah 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 blah, and like that is not what's happening at all. And what happens too is like when they see the certain IPs, then they get really excited. I mean, funny enough, right? And I know we've talked about this before, but like that's like a similar thing with like PlayStation All Stars, where it's like a Sony Santa Monica versus I forget the name of their actual company, but there was a company that was picked up by Sony Santa Monica to get it done versus it actually being Sony Santa Monica itself. And a lot of people just didn't understand that because they just saw the IPs and they just knew that Sony Santa Monica was attached to it some capacity. And then they're like, oh, wow, well, I guess they're the ones making it happen.
Mm-hmm. No need to get hostile over buffs and nerfs, by the way. There's no need to tell them to shut up. But, I mean, I have my own opinions on, like, the buffs and nerfs and stuff. I think out of any game I've ever played, the discussion of buffs and nerfs happens the most in Multiversus. Out of any game I've played or even watched competitively, I feel like buffs and nerfs are, like, the number one topic always. And I made a pretty long post on my idea of balancing, especially balancing a fighting game. I think that big talk about buffs and nerfs actually hard stems from the transparency that happened, especially at the beginning, right? And so, with being able to have such easy access to like the team, where you can just voice your thoughts. Like I'm sitting here, like I tell you guys, my mentions are either filled with people asking me for a character or content, or to buff and nerf somebody, right? And I mean, when you look at this is also a reason why I can't compete. You feel me? Because all it takes is one person to be like, well, Nakat's competing. What if he loses to this character in bracket and he wants to nerf him, right? So I don't compete anymore. But when it comes to buffs and nerfs, I think what I have to do is separate whether someone's asking for a buff or nerf for the right reason, right? Whether it's like if it's a skill issue and someone is asking for a character to get nerfed or buffed, you have to be able to identify that. When something is genuinely downright unhealthy, it's also a thing where you have to be able to identify that. I actually think that it's a good thing that people are able to voice their opinions and you can take that into consideration, but still at the end of the day, you have to make sure that you're going about it a certain way that isn't fueled for the wrong reason when it comes to buffing and nerfing a character. This is how I think about it, right? Like what happened with Velma, right? Velma just got nerfed pretty damn hard, like pretty damn hard. Some people assumed immediately that I had something to do with that. I'll have you know, I had absolutely nothing to deal with that. I can never be like, this character needs to be nerfed. Snap my finger, that character's nerfed. It doesn't work like that. So when it comes to that, it's just like, it's complicated. That's just the downright honest truth. It's complicated. Like buffing and nerfing isn't just this simple solution. Now I know that people are hard, like wanting Finn, right? And so I also say when it comes to buffing and nerfing characters, like when a patch drops, you're not always going to be able to put everything into that patch. Sometimes it takes a couple patches for things to actually catch up. Something to think about. Yeah. Look at Taz early on. Oh, you remember what I said, Carter? Look at Taz early on. I know you didn't think it was so needed, but he got hit hard, dude. I miss. All right, this is take off the community manager hat. This is Nakat talking. Bro, I miss that Taz so much because they just spammed Tornado and it was a free win. They thought that they could match up against good players and just do that and they would just get smacked in the mouth and lose. It was the freest thing. And the best part is when they were getting bodied, they would just run it off and quit. They would just quit, bro.
And they were just done.
But I understand why it needed to be nerfed because not everybody can handle that.
Yeah. That's a good point. And that's another thing too. I love Herman even talking about how a lot of people aren't experienced with fighting games. And a lot of people, this is their first like competitive fighting game. And I think a lot of times for the community, because it's a young community, it's not only just a new community, but there's a lot of new players, like new to the genre. And so I think sometimes people need to take a step back and see what matters and what doesn't. And also understand that your viewpoint right now about what characters are strong and what characters are weak could change over time without the game changing at all. And that's a whole other factor that I think a lot of people haven't experienced. And they just think, oh, we know fighting games where they are now. Like, still at the end of the day, this game is very, very, very new. Right? There's, like, to give people an example, right? There's certain characters in fighting games that literally were not relevant until, like, 3, 4, 5 years ago in games that had no patches. And it just took time for someone to get to the point to recognize, hey, this is this character's strong suit.
Melee Yoshi.
This is how I mitigate their weaknesses, and all of a sudden, they appear to be good. Yeah, perfect example. Melee Yoshi. Heck, even like Jigs were where Jigs was until where Jigs is now, right?
Yep.
Even certain characters seem really, really strong, and then all of a sudden they kind of go down, and then you don't see them for a while. For example, like, dude, Melee Sheik in the very beginning, like, when people just started playing competitive, well, that character was, like, broken beyond belief. Everyone's just getting bodied by that character, whatever, right? Then you fast forward to this time period, right, in a game, again, that cannot get patched, and literally you have the first Sheik to win the major, like, ever. Like, in a long, long time, right? Solo Sheik. just happened, to at Genesis 9 due to JMOOC, right?
Yep.
And so I think that a lot of people need to like relax. A lot of things that you're gonna see right now may feel like abrasive. There's gonna be a lot of things where you're gonna be like, oh man, this seems too powerful, or like, oh, this is so annoying to me, therefore like it's bad and it's terrible. And that's also another aspect of fighting games when it comes to like buffs and nerfs, because like sometimes you gotta do things like Taz, where it's like maybe the move itself at the peak is not like really strong, but it's a very great tactic against casual players, right? So then you got to do stuff about that. But then you also got to think about, okay, if we take that away, what do we need to add so this character is still competitively viable, right? Like when you're looking at the competitive versus casual, and at the same time looking at the very, very new meta where you could add things to a character that eventually weren't needed, or could actually overtune a character because the meta just seemed to focus on particularly different things at the time. So there's just a lot of factors at times, and I think that a lot of people aren't really thinking about that.
You hear that, Marvin players? It's your time. You're gonna win a major. Yo, let me stop. But nah, Bam is spitting facts. So when it just comes to, I mean, I played Brawl competitively. That was a game that could not be patched ever at all. The most broken character in platform fighting history comes from that game. We had two choices. We either get really good and just beat that character, or we don't even try. And a lot of people, that was a time. But anyway, Multiversus is blessed to be able to be patched, and I think that's something good. Something very good. But not everybody has that like killer competitive mindset where they're gonna do the extra mile to just learn a matchup, right? So some people are going to want characters to just straight up get nerfed. He's talking about Ice Climbers? No, I'm talking about Meta Knight. Ice Climbers is also a huge issue, though. They were both an issue.
They are. You get trolled. You getting trolled by a non-existent dad.
Nah, non-existent dad. I mean, he ain't wrong, though.
He ain't wrong.
It was Meta Knight. Sure. Meta Knight, yes. Yeah. Multiversus is blessed to not have. I was in a tournament chat. By the way, I'm making a burner Twitch account, guys, because I can't watch tournaments without people asking me for balances. Sometimes I just want to watch the game, guys. I want to watch it be played and just watch and have fun. But anyway, someone basically, wait, what was I going with this? Right. Meta Knight, I was telling them we don't have a Meta Knight because they were complaining about Stripe. I was like, we don't have Meta Knight. We don't got Bayonetta. We don't got Steve. We don't got Kazuya. We don't got Ice Climbers, bro. Guys, you don't know how actually, like... Oh my god, you don't know. But it's okay. It's okay. If a character you think is unhealthy pops up, it's okay. I totally understand. That doesn't mean you can't voice your opinion about it. It doesn't. But y'all don't know, man. Multiversus, in terms of being a game, like balance-wise, is so much better than... Oh, man. Anyway, but it's not perfect. And that's what we strive for. The team is always trying to strive to do the best thing possible, right? It might not happen within the speed that you guys want, but it's an effort that is always constantly happening, even in the moments where you're upset and you don't feel like anything is going on. At least take it from me, the passion, the heart, and the soul is still there. That's why when you guys were upset about the delay, like I felt that shit. Like I felt it, genuinely felt it. And so that's why, like, I'm doing stuff on my end to ensure that you guys are happy and satisfied as time continues to progress and go on and go on. You feel me? And yeah, I like the Shaggy Batman. I read exactly what you said. I can't comment on it the way I would like to, but just know that I see what you said. I appreciate your comment, and when or if that time comes, I'll be sure to let you know, because I know people want communication, right? And that's why even if I can't straight up tell you an answer, I'm still going to talk to you, and I'm going to assure you that I'm reading what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I see the mean comments. I see the good comments. I see it all, baby. I see it all. I can handle it.
Actually helped a ton, man. Herman's right on that too.
What's up, bro?
I feel like hitboxes being tweaked, I think it went a long way, like the 2D hitboxes.
Okay.
I think that's always been really good because honestly, I think a lot of times too, people look at like, oh, they're like, oh, the server is like not well or whatever like that, and they're like talking about like, oh, this needs to be better. And it's like, yes, servers are like you guys are continuing to work on the servers. Also, at the same time, some of those things stem from a combination of that plus how hitboxes interact when the server is going to be like, if it's like tanking or if there's a skip or whatever it may be happening, depending on the people's connections, right? And so it's good that is also being like worked at. So it's like that two-prong approach where that is being handled. Hurt boxes are being handled, hitboxes are being handled, and servers. So you're gonna have a lot less situations where, depending on trades or like these like close interactions where you feel like you should have won, stuff like that, they're gonna be a lot more clear and consistent, which I think is really nice.
Guys, something important too, by the way, is if you love the game and you're playing it and you're making content for the game and you're entering online tournaments and you're waiting for LAN tournaments to pop up and you're doing all this stuff and you're putting all this mileage into the game, no opinion of anyone else that doesn't play the game, might not enjoy it or anything, that should not deter you from doing what you're doing and enjoying the game at all. This is someone that came from the Brawl community. That is the first competitive game I've ever played, right? I, for years, had people like making fun of Brawl, saying all this stuff about Brawl, etc., etc. I gave my soul and my heart to that game, and I don't regret it at all, at any point. I don't. I love that game to death, and I will always appreciate that game for everything it's done for me up to this point. So, if you guys love this game, and you straight up want to keep doing what you're doing for it, do not let anybody deter you from doing that. Literally continue to do it. Continue to do it. And those that really stick to it, really stick to it, you will look back on this time where people were saying whatever they were saying, and you'll look back and you'll laugh. Keep playing the game, keep loving the game. Games, no matter, and this is just outside of Multiversus now, games will stick around as long as people are playing them. Play the game. Don't worry about anything. Just play it. Play it, love it, support it.
X. And you know what the thing is too? There's a lot of people saying all this stuff, like, and they're like, everyone's like, oh, well, the news reporters are saying like maybe Multiverse is dead, this and that. Like, clearly it's not, because people exist and people are playing the game, right? And you have so much content and stuff that's going to be on the horizon as well. I think the biggest thing for me that always, like, dude, look at where this game is right now in the community, the fans who love the game. It's like people are just starting to build a LAN community, right? Like, dude, once that is done, that's going to be so explosive for the entire scene. And that is ramping up now, right? Like, it's going to be a whole different ball game for people. And I know, like travels, just talking to people, just talking to other like big leaders and other scenes. Yeah, there's a lot of people still, they're fixated on Multiversus. Like, people are waiting and looking and seeing. So that's
actually facts, bro. There's a lot of people. Yeah,
there's
like,
a lot of dude. There's a lot of
other scenes that are still like, hey, I want to play this game. Like, I still want to play this game. Sometimes they try to ask me, yo, what's coming out next? And I'm like, yeah, you know, I can't tell you that, bro. It's like, all right, bet, don't worry, I'm gonna be around now. Yeah. Oh, yo. Sorry. Nakat, how did the devs feel about the 4 Multiversus community? Bro, we love those accounts. But I'm gonna speak for me mostly. I fucking love the 4 Multiversus accounts. I think those accounts are godlike. Some of those accounts are mad creative, yo. They crack me up. I love those accounts, yo.
There's some good ones, for sure.
I love those accounts. Those accounts get me excited. So yeah, like I'm definitely a fan. Like, actually a fan. I think though I followed one of them. By the way, I'm gonna say this again. If I post something or I follow someone, that doesn't mean shit. That's just me on my Twitter personally following something because I either think it's funny or I want to follow it. I followed one of them. I thought it was a great account. There's other accounts out there that are great too. Don't get me wrong. And another thing, I want to talk a little bit about casual modes. How much of the player base, that's something I actually am interested in. I want to know how much of the player base is casual versus competitive. That's what I want to know. Guys, if you're in the chat and you're a casual player, hit 1. Competitive players, the sweats, don't hit anything. This is coming from a sweat. Don't hit nothing. Casuals, that are in the chat hit 1. And now I'm asking you casuals directly. What casual game modes would you want to see in the game? Throw your ideas into the ring. This is me now as a casual joining the casual scene asking. I can't sweat anymore, so you know what? I'm joining the cool kids, bro.
Casual, baby.
We casuals, baby. Let's go.
Cash.
Hot potato, 8-player free-for-all, 3-on-3. Stocks to free-for-all. King of the Hill from Mortal Kombat. I've seen King of the Hill around a lot. There's actually a King of the Hill, I think there's a Twitch channel for King of the Hill Multiversus. I was in there once. I was like, this is really
Basketball
cool.
actually,
Someone actually set that shit up. I was like, wow. That's cool.
Would be hype. A full-on basketball mode. Dude, there's one, man. I think there's like a basketball mode, and then there is I saw like a soccer mode as well on something for.
Yeah.
I think that was, I do think there's a lot of cool like ways you can go about basketball for sure. Oh man, I wish you were here. You weren't here yet in SoCal. There was this player who like he made his own like platform fighting basketball game. It was so fire. Like it's so sick.
So where is it? He ain't put it on Steam?
I think did he put it on Steam? He probably did. He actually got picked up by a big dev team.
Nice, good for him.
I think he's at EA, but he was a young guy here. He was the Nest. Actually, you should know him. The original Void, before Void, the little kid Void, the Nest Void. You remember him?
No, I don't.
He had to change his name.
No, I don't.
Then you know the real Void existed.
Nah, I don't know who that is.
Oh, you don't, dude? Yeah, he's a Nest main. He's a Smash 4 Nest main, and he's actually a developer. He made a basketball platform fighting game, and it was super hype, man. It was insanely fun. We played Saturn. There you go. That
Battle Royale. Okay.
Just call him Luke because I like actually talked to him afterwards, so I would just call him Luke. But yeah, Saturn.
Okay. I will keep this in mind. I'll keep this in mind. Chat, I see you. The good thing about this is this VOD will be saved, so your responses will be saved too. They'll always be here. This is a vault. Now, ranked players. Let's talk about these long queues. What rank are you experiencing these long queues in? I'm curious. When I was playing ranked, I got matches relatively quick, but I don't know if that's because I started out like, I don't even know what rank I started at. I'm plat right now from the little bit I've been playing ranked, but I haven't experienced a long queue at all. Is there a specific rank you need to be for the long queue? Any high rank on West Coast? Plat and above, master, plat 1, diamond above. Well, I'm very certain, well, not even very certain, certain team knows about it and it's something that'll be addressed. So, you feel me? Certain people I play with, it takes long. My rank says no. That's like a PlayStation thing that's also going to get fixed. See, guys, hold on. I may post about this too, by the way. I may post about this. So this isn't the first time I'm saying it, but I'll say it again. It doesn't matter. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Once I hit diamond, I waited for 30 minutes, but I just decided to log off. Now, another question for competitive players. So for this current patch, right? This current meta. Give me your genuine opinion of Finn the Human. Now, I like I said, I see the discussion about Finn everywhere, from casual to competitive, etc. Tell me, in your opinion, what do you think makes Finn extremely overwhelming? You can be as raw as you want.
First,
you ain't gonna hurt my feelings. You can be as raw as you want.
I'll say something afterwards. But
oh boy, open the floodgates.
They're here.
I got 0 to death. And
like that. You know what?
They said we getting nerfed. We getting nerfed. We getting nerfed.
Hitbox is not real. Yes, it is not real.
I just want to know what everybody's feeling. I got hit by that and just kind of laughed. It was whatever.
Yeah. I agree with that. It's like he is insanely fast. Like he has such great movement in this game. In a game that already has stellar movement.
Mobility, recovery,
with
hitbox,
huge
downtilt.
sweeping hitboxes that like essentially cover him.
I'm gonna check on my cat real quick.
It's like, yeah, but like essentially in a game where the idea is you either whiff punish someone, you hit them before they dodge, or they're just moving around, right? Like it's such a strong tool in that kind of game. Then it's like, yeah, then the overall like knockback is insane. He just gets a swing. It's a swing for free.
Cat is trolling. Ugh. See, the outside of like 2-3 characters, I really like this patch. What would those 2 to 3 characters be?
I actually like the patch in general too. I actually had
I saw a lot of praise. I saw like a lot of praise for it. Honestly, I never expect a patch to satisfy absolutely everybody. It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because like, right, if
I think Morty is wild. I thought that character has been wild.
Morty, oh my. More of these, please. More of what? Oh, more patches like this. So what about Morty? Because I've seen...
Dude.
Yo, it's funny because if a character is absolutely, like, really strong, there's always the camp of people that think the character is too strong. But then even if the character is, like, blatantly too strong, there's always also that camp of people that don't want the character nerfed at all. And if you do... If you do even the slightest, they act like you gutted the character entirely.
Yeah. You know what it is with between Morty and Finn, at least for me? I think so Morty, being the character that he is, right? And it's like he's supposed to like be a bruiser and do all this stuff. But like he has literally his like save state, like being able to save people the way he can and himself is just so OD. Along with his general recovery is like insane. And he essentially does everything. He's a character that does pretty much everything. Like he's not defined by a class at all, right? And I think a lot of times there's a lot the characters tend to be like super strong. I think the only character I feel like that was really strong that was, well, I guess not only character, but like one of them that was constant was Velma, but she still was just overall just like a support, right? But
yeah,
like Morty, I feel like Finn, I feel like there's just a couple characters where it's like they do things that feels like their class should not permit, and they're also like one of the best at doing that thing, despite it not being the focal point of their class, which I think is really interesting.
Twitch drops, even if it's like little things like player. Cat bit me. All right, you're going. Goodbye, troll.
Super troll.
Like actually, bro. When it comes to like Twitch drops, did what the Scooptober, I know that. But yeah, I'll pass along that players want Twitch drops. For sure. It's no sarcasm, by the way. That sounded a little sarcastic.
I have a question for you, Nakat. Do you think, bro? So this is just a thought that I've always like had, but
yep,
I'm curious to what you think. Do you think, because there's definitely a lot of characters now that are like hybrid or like they do more than like what their role exactly is, or class role. You think that characters should be tuned towards their class, or do you think it should be something ultimately where it's like classes shouldn't be a factor on how a character plays, and then kind of goes from there?
Why am I standing? Because I sit a lot, so I need to stand.
I almost feel that if characters were a bit more tuned towards their classes, then I think that also reveals a lot of reasons why people think certain characters are strong, in my opinion.
Fuck, this is hard, because a part of me wants to say like maybe just drop classes altogether, but then the other part of me is just like, you could try to tune them more towards their class. I think even if you tune a character more towards its class in like a fighting game, I think it's still very hard because just certain characters will always be able to fall outside of the parameters of what their class should dictate.
Which I think is fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that should be a thing. I don't think it should ever be that, okay, assassin no way can have anything that can be like a supporting tool, or no way can have something that would be considered like a bruiser, like attacker or anything like that. But I think that being the focal point, and then even if it's like, okay, you have certain things that maybe that could exist on another like class per se, that like fulfill that role, it's still in a way that is not like overbearing. Like, oh, by the way, like my say is better than any other support.
For sure. No, yeah, I totally get you. That's why I think that question is kind of complicated. It could go, personally for me, it goes either way. I would be fine with it either way. I know there's some people that want classes gone, or some people that actually want them to feel more like they're in line. And that was, I think, one of the critiques of Velma. Like, traditionally throughout her time being in the game, it's just like Velma just felt like she's a support that can just do everything. Like, she could just box you up. I'm even talking about from when I was playing competitively, remembering what Velma was capable of. This shit was wild. But looking at her now, especially after this patch, there's a lot of people that are upset that she got hit the way she did. So that's also something to look into and consider and kind of reevaluate to a degree. But there were definitely some changes that I thought were, okay, no, this makes sense. Like, this definitely makes sense. But yeah. Finn Def isn't horizontal. Finn, man, I already started talking about Finn. It's funny, TLTC, because when the patch first dropped, the first thing I saw about Morty was that he was cooked. He was done. That was the first thing I saw. The first. Roll should be recommendations. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that's initially how it was, because it's interesting because I feel like if you fast forward, right, we go into the future, we have a ton of characters, right? I think that in that lens where we have a ton of characters and you're able to like identify general characters, and like once people start really deep diving and identifying like, okay, these are the strong teams out of like 80 characters or 60 characters or whatever, how many characters there are, right? I think it's like, oh yeah, usually you want to have a tank and support or whatever, right? Then I think that the roles can be very helpful. I think right now it's kind of hard because you have like a limited amount of characters and you just have a lot of characters that play hybrid. As well. So
I think the big thing about like even just characters in general is that you always want to try to strive to get diversity as much as possible. Like even in Smash, bro, like when you look at the results, you don't want to see 8 Meta Knights in top 8. You know, you like, it's always, and I think Smash actually naturally pans itself out because it has so many characters already, where you'll always get like that diversity in top 64, top 32, etc. Where Multiversus doesn't have that many characters yet, so it's just like coincidentally, or because a character is really strong, you'll continue to see a character perform. There were some weeks where I look at online results and I always see Velma. And then there were some weeks where I didn't see a Velma. And I don't know if it was because of the player skill of the Velma players that entered the tournament, or if players got better, started knocking her out, or if there just weren't that many Velmas in the tournament to begin with, right? So, and this goes for not just Velma, this goes for other characters too. All things that are important to pay attention to, especially. But at the same time, I definitely think that when looking at characters and how successful they are, you should also take into consideration the players that are playing those characters too. Like if you look at the players that are succeeding on a character, what's like a common denominator amongst all those players? Are they all really strong players that just so happen to have picked that same character? Or are these players succeeding on this character because this character's too good? This is something I thought about with Jake, right? When Jake was jaking. Yeah.
Definitely jaking.
I definitely thought Jake was extremely strong, but I also didn't want to take away from the players that were piloting him. Just like, okay, how good are the players that are actually playing Jake that are performing, right? Is it just a matter of this character being batshit broken, or are the players also really good? that are actually performing with him at the highest level in the game. So when was Jake doing anything out of any move? So yeah, those are just things and how I look at stuff, right? Generally talking for myself, guys. Right. And then Shaggy is annoying. That's like another comment that I always look into when it comes to balancing, right? I don't think annoying always needs to dictate needing a nerf. There are characters that I think are annoying as hell in other games. And to me, my first go-to isn't, this is annoying to fight, this needs to get nerfed. My thought process is, all right, is it broken? If it's not broken, but it's annoying, then it's up to me to deal with it, get better, and beat it. Not everybody's going to think like that. Period. It's just not possible. It's not going to happen. But
the Superman stuff was wild. I ain't gonna lie,
bro. The Superman dog. I
was like, dog, wait a minute, Kal-El. Kal-El is in the building.
I was already aware of like Superman. Like I saw the buffs. I saw the buffs when I was reading the patch notes. I was like, oh, I froze. I was like, like that.
That's why you taking the Krypton, baby.
then I went incognito into a couple streams. And I'm just watching. I'm watching like this, lean back in the chair, just like this, right? Like in the cut. And I'm seeing Superman do what he's doing, and then I hop onto rank. I run into the same Superman like 4 times, bro, and he's doing it to me, and I'm just like, all right, I knew about this already. I'm giggling, laughing, getting carried off, and just like, all right. That's it. Classic. I ain't about to sit here and yell and scream. It's not that deep to me. It's more so of, okay, I have this information now, and I have the information that people have been saying. This just better reaffirms it. That's it. Does that confirm anything? Absolutely not. Just know that we're more aware of things than you think. But again, you can't just like be like, this needs to get fixed, or this character needs to get nerfed immediately and expect it to happen immediately in the next patch, because it just doesn't work that way.
I will say, I do like that Superman, actually, his other moves actually have a use now.
I think that should happen in games in general, bro.
Yes.
Like, if characters have moves that are just not as used much, I always think that those moves we should find a way to make those moves work. Kosalix actually brought this up on Twitter, where I think he was mostly talking about Stripe's skateboard move. He was talking about that, and I think another move. And to me, it's just like, okay, let's think about this. How can we make this move more prevalent in the character's kit so it actually has some utility? But yeah.
I think specials should never be useless. Like if it's like, that makes no sense to me. Like a special should never be useless. I could see a move being like, okay, it's mediocre or it's not that strong. But whenever a special is useless, I think that's just it's a disservice to the character, right? Like that should definitely be figured out.
Yep, for sure. And so, like, those are things I think about. That's where I really like that the community is also vocal. Like, I like that about the community, because sometimes, right, the community will actually spit some like really interesting concepts that shit, even I did not think about this. This is cool. Yo, I love that move. I love Stripe's crossbow move. It's like, it's just cool. That's why I like it. But yeah, that's where I like when you guys give your input and stuff, right? That's why, even though like I told you how you have to kind of like go about nerfs and buffs, so I'm looking at them. That's just another thing. When you guys are actually spitting like concepts, I'm looking and I'm like, yo, this is fire. Let's take a look at this, ma. Shake head. Matchmaking, I'm hella casual. Stop matchmaking me against the biggest sweats. Pub stomping because of ranked being 10-minute queues. Also, my teammate is under 100 matches 99% of the time. I mean, the most I could say about matchmaking is that we're always going to try to make it as best as we possibly can. That's why I was asking about the match queue timers. Like, what for ranked players? How long is it taking them to get into a match? Stuff like that. You want to give out as ranked as stages. You're going to talk about throne room. You're going to say that most of the players competitively don't want to play on throne room, right? Lack of pick and ban is in questionable stages. Yo, I'm actually for pick and bans being in ranked. I think implementing them in a way that doesn't make getting into the match take longer should be like a really it's like really important to kind of explore that, in my opinion. You say throne room is awesome. I'm like half and half on it, because I like throne room a lot personally. It's my personal favorite stage in the game. I like Game of Thrones a lot. What can I say? But There are certain characters, and this should happen, especially if it's like a counter pick. Like, you should get rewarded. Your character, if it has a benefit on said stage, they should get that benefit, of course. The thing is that I'm also looking out for play that's just purely uninteractive. And if someone will go the extra mile to play a certain way on a stage to cop a W, even if it means running away the entire time. And that's also something that you have to think about. But overall, with Throne Room being in the competitive rule set, I'm much more interested in hearing what the competitive community has to say about that. Like the people that are really grinding ranked and going through it, if they want that stage to be in the rotation or not. Because I think that's valuable input from the competitive scene to have on the dev team, period.
A lot of
Excuse
people
me.
say they don't want it. They recognize that it's a fun casual stage, and then they think that
I like
ultimately, though, it
diversity.
doesn't fit. Yeah.
Some people, dude, if it benefits their character, you're definitely gonna want to keep it. If it doesn't benefit your character at all, you're not having a good time. You're like, yo, get it out.
So do you feel like I mean, you know what's interesting too, right? Because then that also goes into the aspect of like, okay, what if is there a world where Throne Room makes sense where you have a polar opposite, right? Where it's like obviously it's really good for horizontal characters. Like maybe there's another one that like is like just way better for vertical and it's enough, so we're okay. That is also another thing too when you're talking about the picks and bans, and I think that's something that's not. And people talk about it here and there and stuff too, but that's obviously going to be a bigger thing as this game moves towards a bigger competition.
I think for certain, and this is just a little bit looking at the chat, I definitely think for certain that, man, I really do I would like picks and bans to be in ranked mode. I think ranked mode should 100% mimic what competitive LAN is going to look like. Or competitive online too, you feel me? It should be like uniformed. Sorry, I was thinking about that. Is hype marketing I talked about that a little bit. I saw people ask. Yeah. Huh? What's up, bro?
I was just saying because I saw him. He said a message about this before too, right after we finished talking about it.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I saw what's it called? Like posts on Twitter, guys, about how people want characters to be marketed and yada yada. I just want you guys to know personally, like, I see exactly what you want. It's something that I also want, and so I'll continue to try to push that for the community. That's my answer.
That's just one of the biggest. That's one of the strongest marketing tools, period, in any game, right? And especially when you have the IPs that are available for Multiversus, definitely just would be godlike.
Become the I can't become the Sakurai. that guy is a legend. All right. I'm gonna be the Nakat. That's what I want to be. I only want to be me.
Oh,
I get what you mean, though.
Nakat of Multiversus? Let's go.
No, I'm not. No, dude. You know people are asking for an announcer pack. Dude, they want
Really?
an announcer pack. I'm dead ass, bro. They've been doing this for months now. Yo, when are we gonna get the Nakat announcement pack? Just like, bro. You don't actually want that. Is there going to be
that actually would be funny. That'd be pretty hype.
Is there going to be a way we can pick our maps instead of it being randomized in both regular and ranked mode? See, that's why I was talking about like picks and bans. Because if you do that, then people can pick and ban like their competitive stages. But even in regular modes, if people can pick a stage, and I think that would be cool. Like the first stage, you guys pick a stage, right? It becomes randomized which stage it is. Then the second stage, if you lose, you get to pick, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think that'd be cool too, right? I think there's a way to do it, and I'll try to figure it out. I think there's a way.
Presets,
I already have ideas.
I really do like presets. I think preset map preference would be good too, and it just auto does it.
Yeah. Nakat Wonder Woman. Oh, shit. Oh, man. We need caster and pros in the future. Even just preferred stages are one ban for each player.
I'm dead.
universal whiff patch. But yeah, when it comes to that, I'm leaving the room open because you're okay. All right, TLTC. Hey, at least you're honest. Get your.
Yeah, I respect it. I respect it because he said, "Hey, I don't like the stage, but I know it's good for me, so I'm gonna run it."
Yeah, but guys, keep in mind, and this is very important, and I think it's something that people always forget, always. And I won't even talk about other games because I don't know how long they sit in this territory, but the game is still in beta. It's constantly being worked on. You guys are also a part of the working on the game process with all of your input. Straight up, you guys are helping elevate the game and making the game better and better and better. So your input is always valued. And again, even though I sound like a broken record, even if I don't respond to your question, that does not mean that I didn't see it and that I haven't acknowledged it and I haven't internalized that information. So just know that. Game's in open beta. Open beta, open beta, open beta. But we're doing our best. The new player experience, we can't get that. So that's why I was asking, like, the casual players, like, what casual modes would you guys like to see in the game? You feel me? Because I think, you know, like, I'm a big fan of Silly Q. I mean, even as a retired sweat, I think Silly Q is fun. Something I want to do, like, you were talking about basketball. I want to play basketball. LeBron's there, bro. Something I thought about was going on the court and, like, playing actual basketball. I thought about this way back in the day because I thought it would be fun. It's content, man. That ass. Super content.
No, that'd be fire.
Gizmo popcorn upon explosion should linger as long as the visual signature perk.
What do you think about that, Nakat?
What's up, bro?
In terms of, like, I do think that's a big thing, right? Also, because I think it's pretty clear, and I think a lot of people in here have faith, right? That where it's like, this game is obviously something special. It has a lot of potential, and it will be, like, realized eventually, right? I think that's also a big thing too. Like TLTC, a couple other people are saying it too, right? Just talking about, okay, like, how can the game be better for new players coming in? Like, when they eventually come in, like, when the game fully drops, you know, a bunch of characters are released, everyone's super hyped, the buzz is going, like, what can be there that can really assist new players from learning?
Bro, make sure, like, obviously people aren't making burners. Yeah, did you see what happened to what is his name? IBDW?
Yep. That's a big thing that happened.
He dead ass booted up Rivals. Someone deliberately made a burner to match up with him and to circle camp him on purpose. One of their more prominent players. Guys, let me ask you this favor, and please promise me this. To the pro players, right? If someone, especially a big content creator or a streamer, is trying out the game and they want to play it, do not make a Smurf to make their experience hell. You will literally turn people away before they even think before they even have a feeling for the game at all. It is very important to not do that. It's also very important to not talk down on other communities, period, right? Even if someone is saying something about our community, just be the bigger man about it. Don't lean into it at all. That's just advice. Trust. Never do that. It's not worth it.
Not worth it at all. I feel like for new players, I definitely think the skill-based matchmaking, that's going to be one thing to look at, so they don't run into people who are just strong off rip like that, because that's definitely a factor. I think tutorials too, like, obviously there's tutorials currently in the game, but I think that as they move forward, there can be improved ones. Like, I really love what Guilty Gear Strive has done for that. I think too that there's a couple platform fighters and traditional fighters who have done this, and I really think more games need to do this. When you have single player, that's a beat 'em up, and through the beat 'em up, you're able to learn about the basis of the game.
Yo, oh, you froze, bro. You good? Bam is gone. Yo, he looks funny frozen like that. Bam is gone. Yeah, Derpy, what happened? Oh shoot, no, Bam is OD gone. Oh, there he is. All right, now you're there. You're back. You're back.
Ag.
Someone said you looking like 50 Cent, ma.
I know. And then I was gone, dude.
You got lag switched by me? Hold on, Bam. Don't say nothing. You said you got lag switched by me? Damn. Ain't that something? Huh. A lag switch. Man, get your ass out of here lying, bro. Stop lying. You got body, bro. By my Iron Giant. You losing this giant. Oh, man, you lost to my giant. Bugging out. Sorry about that, guys. You know, I get a little competitive sometimes. You know, I still got it in me. So anyway,
I don't know where did I cut out?
Oh, dude, you just cut out like mid. You might want to take it from the top.
All right. Anyways, I think that what people need to do is definitely have a single player game mode that's like a beat 'em up that helps people learn the game. I think that would be godlike.
What, like a side-scrolling beat 'em up?
Yeah, like a side scroller, right? Like, I mean, obviously you have like Subspace, you have Guilty Gear Strive, where they have their tutorial mode where essentially you're doing combos on little like enemies, right? As you're going through to learn.
Yep.
Smash Run is a super godlike one. If you guys are like old heads, right? Then you know Tekken Force. Tekken Force was in literally Tekken 3, and that was godlike. You literally are like go through and play a beat 'em up throughout the whole time, right? Mm-hmm. So I think there's a beauty when people take a story mode concept and it's like they inlay those things in a fighting game. So when you go play the fighting game, you're able to take from that. And I think especially for a casual market, I think that's really powerful.
I think story mode would be cool. I think a better lab would be cool. Like more options in the lab. You're funny enough, bro.
2-player team lab, please. Team lab.
Yeah, I think 2 people should definitely be able to lab together. These are things I thought about a long time ago. So I didn't even like this isn't new to me entirely, but just know I know, guys. I know.
Yeah, online lab too. I think it would be hype, especially with like such a dedication to like improving the servers and like having super quality online. I think being able to do that too would be so sick. So people can just like level up with each other and train. Dude, I know my boy Kadaj is in the chat, man. Like, dude, if I could sit down with Kadaj and freaking online lab, it'd be godlike. I'd be doing that all day.
Kadaj. That's a Brawl boy, man. That's a veteran.
Yes, sir.
Never forget. Never forget, baby. Come on now. But yeah, guys, trust me, this stuff I'm aware of. Just keep that in mind. So I'm aware of it. Doesn't mean it's going to happen at lightning speed, if at all. You just have to take that with a grain of salt. But I am very aware. Yeah, if Tony confirms something, then there you go. There you go.
Yeah, he did talk about replay mode.
But yeah, I'm gonna keep the communication line open as long as possible. But the last thing that I actually wanted to talk to you guys about, and this is more specifically for like LAN and keyboard. Guys, how has the update to keyboard been for you guys specifically? Has it been smooth? Has it been working fine? Like, this is me personally asking. I haven't heard much talk around it. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that means it's working fine and as intended. I don't know how many people actually use keyboard though.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of too. Because I know the scene right now, at least in the West Coast and NorCal,
haven't done 2 keyboard.
Is a lot smaller, so they haven't really been able to. It's hard to get people together to test it out thoroughly.
Niche part of the player base, but very important part of the player base as well. I mean, especially for like a free-to-play game that you can also play on computer, you're inevitably going to have people that use keyboards to play the game. So it's really important to make sure that's set. But yeah, I guess I'll just wait till we get more data on how that rolled out and how people are feeling about the keyboards, working and stuff. If anybody is using multi-keyboard on LAN, please let me know, even on Twitter, how it's been going. Like, not really a list of things to test. I just want to make sure like there hasn't been any problems where it's been buggy or messing up or not cooperating or anything of that sort. right? I spoke about servers earlier in the podcast, which is why you can watch this VOD when this is all over. I'll go ahead and publish it. Getting thrown into the convo, you're good? Yeah, no worries, yo. No worries, no worries. Yeah, I've been cut my hair. Yo, do you watch? Yo, all right, this is a little bit off topic. Do you watch your reality TV at all still?
No, not really.
Bruh, all right, we're watching this show called Are You the One? And we've been like binging every season. This shit is kind of old, but it's still going on currently, dog. And like one of my homies is catching up on one of the seasons he missed, and he's losing his mind. That's why I was giggling.
No.
Yo, it's gonna be yo, it's good stuff, bro. It's mad funny.
All right, I might need to check it out.
The cat went Hollywood, said he had to lose the hair. Get out of here, bro. All right, man. I already said why I cut my hair. Stop playing with me, bro. Can't wait to see players jamming on a DDR dance. Dude, if someone gets godlike on a DDR dance pad, bro, that is super impressive. You already got a streamer beating Elden Ring on a dance pad.
Yeah.
And she plays 2 screens, 1 dance pad, 1 controller. I don't know how she does that. She has my total respect. And she wins. It's crazy.
Yep. There's another one. What was it? There was someone playing Multiversus, and he was like, I think he won with a saxophone.
Yeah,
something crazy.
It's crazy, dude. It's insane, bro. How some people can actually do this, bro.
Yeah, he was playing Shaggy. That's all I remember. Someone was playing Shaggy with like an instrument.
A piano. Piano.
Okay.
That's still sick.
Dude, that's a hitbox.
That's still sick.
That's
still sick.
No.
Give him the credit, man.
No. If it was a piano, that's literally a hitbox.
Dude, why? Yo, stop hating on Shaggy, bro. Shaggy is hype.
I'm not.
No, I'm talking TLTC hating in the chat. Yo, Shaggy is mad hype.
Yo, my boy Tom is a professional hater. I love him though.
Shaggy is super hype, bro. I saw the light, bro. Son, I got a video where I beat someone only using side special, bro.
Yeah, that's definitely what that person did.
Yo, Shaggy is our Falcon. They gotta throw some respect. Everybody respects Captain Falcon, bro. And then everybody hates on Shaggy. Stop hating, man. That character is... Your Shaggy is not it, Nakat. Sorry, not sorry. You ain't beating it.
Dude, I like Shaggy doing this thing, man. You gotta have Shaggy jam it, dude.
All right, my bad. I'm a casual. My bad. I forgot. Oops. The competitive side came out a little bit. I'm gonna tone it back. My bad. Oops. Won't do that again. Everyone has a Shaggy. That's what I'm trying to see. Shaggy dittos everywhere, bro. Run a Shaggy only bracket.
Dang.
That shit would be hype, bro. I'll probably be like one of the few people that are super hyped about it, but it is what it is. Straight up. But Bam, do you have any like final thoughts about anything related to the game currently?
Yeah, man. I think my final thoughts are that one of the biggest things I know, and you kind of said this like multiple times, right? One of the biggest things is that this game is going to continue to get better.
Absolutely.
People saying this game is dead. Absolutely dumb. They're just lost in time. This is a very classic thing. The game is in beta. The game has potential. The people love it, right?
Yep.
I think that I'm excited to have more like visibility on things that are going on, which is I think will be great. But it feels like a lot of the things that are requested or needed are heard. Obviously, I know you hear them. Tony hears them. Like the team is watching, right? And I think there's a lot of us in here that can attest to that, right? So the biggest thing for me is just I want to see the community just do their part the best way they can. It's great. I've seen everyone play. It's great too that people have started to recognize like, hey, there's a way that we can speak out our sentiments about everything at the same time, not just drag the whole conversation down on Twitter, right? And I feel like people are getting better at that. And that's refreshing to see. I'm really excited to see once things kind of blow up and everyone's able to play in person, because there's a lot of cool people in the scene, man, that I've just seen, and they love the game, they're passionate about the game, they're labbing it up, man. Like, dude, I'm excited because I know this game, dude, when it pops out again, it's gonna be wild. And this game still has some of the most fun movement I've ever played in a platform fighter. So, game's freaking hype.
I think to piggyback off of that and to say it again, guys, when it comes to the game, again, remember what I said earlier. Whatever you're doing, if you're investing into your local scene, if you're investing into just your own time having fun with the game, whether you're casual or competitive, you want to go pro, you want to do anything with this game, content related, anything, honestly, continue to do it. Don't stop, and believe in all the time that you're putting into what you enjoy, and don't let anybody ever take that from you. Like, for real. That's very, very important. Wait, what? Hold on, let me... What? So let me see. Someone quoted something. I can't see the whole message. Yeah, I can't see that whole message. So I don't know what it says.
What message?
Let me open the thread. They did.
Oh, they did you crazy? Is that one?
They said my shit is fine, bro. I didn't brush my hair, bro. I was like, wait, I gotta do the stream. I just went up. Relax, bro. So. So when I first got my cut and it was looking immaculate and perfect, you always got someone in the chat hating, bro. Always, dog. They wait for you to go live so they can hate immediately, son.
Of course, man.
This shit is crazy, bro. Yo, I just did this for you guys, and you worrying about my hair that's not brushed right? Yo, man, I just got haters, bro. You know?
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
This shit don't make sense. But anyway, as I was saying before, we had an obvious hater in the chat. I'm about to go put my do-rag on. Before we had an obvious hater in the chat. Like I said, if you're investing everything you got into this game, continue to do so. As time progresses, you will only be happier and happier. I guarantee you that. All right? That is my direct promise to you guys. So, even when things feel frustrating or you feel upset, just keep in mind that I said this and remember that. Now, I know there's going to be people that be like, yo, you said this, but I'm not seeing it yet. Patience. For real. Patience. It'll happen. I promise. Tony's great. Tony's fine.
Right now and say you need freaking Jake buffs, dude.
Wait, what?
Randomly
oh my god, bro. I gave the Jake players a compliment. That don't mean I'm not answering no damn Jake buffs. I gave them a compliment. I gave him a compliment earlier in this stream. Now we talking about buffs and hair, bros. Get out of here, man.
You're wilding out, man.
Yeah, bro. But guys, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this. I greatly appreciate it. As time progresses, more news to come, obviously. You guys just hang in there, keep enjoying the game, keep making content, keep supporting it. And for real, you guys are the best part of Multiversus. Never forget that. The game is great, but the community is what keeps the game going. You guys are the best part of it. You should give yourself a pat on the back too. Straight up. Honestly. I'm actually saying this as me. Like, give yourself a pat on the back. It is very exciting to see people excited about the game, even being on the other side. Even me being on the other side, I'm genuinely excited when shit is happening. And so watching what was it? The tournament over the weekend, that was very fun. I enjoy watching singles personally, just like doubles, but it was very fun to see. And I like everybody's enthusiasm with the game. So keep at it. Keep going. And TLTC, I'll answer your question lastly. Actually, I can't answer that, but what I can say is personally me, I'm a favor. I like seasonal patches. That's obviously not a thing right now, but I like seasonal patches. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube. So yeah, look forward to that, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, you guys take care. Enjoy your games today, whatever you play. And yeah, deuces, guys. We out of here later.